Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. And this is going to be the second of probably multiple live streams today. I had no intention of going live until this evening to go over the RNC with you all. Many people have already confirmed that former President Trump has already decided who his VP is. Some people seem excited about it. And literally right when I was about to hit live to go on and talk about a different topic, which was a bombshell right in my lap, then they're saying that his VP choice has been selected. I need to get confirmation that in fact it is this person, but I think it seems pretty solid that he has chosen Mr. Vance. But we'll get confirmation of that for sure. However, we got something else, and this has been confirmed. Lady Krause has spoken, and oh my goodness, has she spoken? All right, so we are going to get into this real quick. I want to shout out everybody that's already jumping in the chat. I'm sorry that we all trying to do work. We out here trying to work, and lo and behold, Jason over here disrupting the apple cart. So I'm going to try to do this very quickly, very responsibly. We are going to read through this motion from from Lady Krause, and I would love. Man, I wish we had a quiet week because I would love to compare what she is saying about Glanville to what happened with Alec Baldwin in New Mexico. That's still going to happen because I still have a great video on that already in the works. I already have it ready to go. But this one just seems to take precedence. So let's get at it. Let's get going. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. And this one's short. In the Superior Court of Fulton County, state of Georgia, we see the defendants and we see the case number, and we see that this was filed today at 11:03 a.m. The orders on motions to recuse Judge Glanville. This case is before the court to consider various motions to recuse, including defendant Deamonte Kendrick's motion to recuse Chief Judge Oral Glanville, Kayla Bumpus' motion to quash the show cause order or recuse Judge Glanville, and then defendant Jeffrey Williams' motion to disqualify, recuse Judge Glanville. Here we go. This is something serious. And I mean, we still haven't even gotten into Brian Steele's writing yet. A news cycle, 2024, can you just calm down so we can keep up? All us new people in this news cycle, we're trying to keep up with all this, and this is just entirely too much. Just slow it down. Let's go. The specific facts necessary to determine these recusal motions are well documented in affidavits, court filings, certified transcripts, and video recordings available on YouTube. YouTube, shout out to YouTube. You are getting shout outs left and right and center, YouTube. Well done, YouTube. Well done. You've grown up. And you do realize YouTube is not super old. It's only about 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. It's hardly able to drink yet. But let us continue. Make sure I did this right. Here we go. These recusal motions arise out of the multiple defendant prosecutions brought by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office alleging gang activity and associated crimes. Kendrick Deamonte 4. Although there were 28 defendants named in the indictment, only 6 are being tried as of June 7th, 2024. The motions to recuse all arise from the same circumstances related to the state's witness, Kenneth Copeland. Man, everything rose and everything has now fallen because of Kenneth Copeland. That is amazing. Like just who would have thought that he was going to be literally the main reason or cause for all of this? Let's keep going. On June 7th, the state intended to call Kenneth Copeland to testify. Prior to his testimony, counsel for Mr. Copeland, Jonathan Melnick, appeared and indicated in open court that Mr. Copeland did not wish to testify and intended to invoke his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. Judge Glanville brought Mr. Copeland into court and discussed with him the effects of immunity under the immunity order Judge Glanville had entered that granted immunity to Mr. Copeland, Judge Glanville specifically advised Mr. Copeland that if he invoked his Fifth Amendment and refused to testify, the state would ask that Copeland would be held in contempt and jailed. Judge Glanville also advised that if asked, Judge Glanville would jail Mr. Copeland and refusing to testify. This is amazing. Let us keep going. Let's keep this dance moving. After this decision, Mr. Copeland spoke to his attorney and then indicated he would testify. Once called, Mr. Copeland was asked to specify his age and intended, and instead of answering, he stated, "I plead the Fifth." Judge Glanville excused the jury. So that was, what was it? That was on that Friday. That was the infamous Friday. Okay. Excused the jury and then advised Mr. Copeland in open court that he was in contempt and ordered him jailed until Monday. Right, there we go. At which time Judge Glanville told Mr. Copeland they would revisit Mr. Copeland's willingness to testify. Mr. Melnick spoke to Mr. Copeland and then reiterated to the court that Mr. Copeland still intended to invoke his Fifth Amendment right if called as a witness. Judge Glanville indicated he would revisit the issue with Mr. Copeland on Monday, June 10th at 8:30. And the court was adjourned for the day. If I'm not mistaken, I vaguely remember ADA Love asking for an ex parte that same day. I got to find it, but I really believe I heard that. But I digress. On the 10th of June, at approximately 9 a.m., Judge Glanville met with counsel for the state, Adrian Love, and stand-in counsel for Mr. Copeland, Kayla Bumpus. The meeting took place in Judge Glanville's chambers. Counsel for the trial defendant did not participate in the meeting and were not aware that the meeting was taking place. The transcripts reflect that Ms. Love told Judge Glanville that she wanted to meet. Yeah, there we go. Wanted the meeting to both impress upon Mr. Copeland the risk of refusing to testify and allow Mr. Copeland to ask questions before he testified. Ms. Love also expressed concern to Judge Glanville about Mr. Copeland's representation. Ms. Bumpus, Ms. Love, and Judge Glanville also discussed the scope and the effect of the state's grant of immunity to Mr. Copeland. Mr. Copeland was then brought to Judge Glanville's chambers where he spoke with and asked questions of Ms. Bumpus, Judge Glanville, and Simone Hilton. Counsel for the state who had joined the meeting. During that time, the state advised Mr. Copeland that he could remain in custody until the conclusion of the trial of all the defendants in this case, not just the 6 currently on trial. Judge Glanville discussed, and there's the code, with Mr. Copeland and his rights to responsibilities after a grant of immunity. Mr. Copeland spoke privately with his stand-in counsel, Ms. Bumpus, and then advised the court that he would testify. Okay, so we're up to speed. We know that. Okay, that's why Kenneth seemed a little bit cantankerous. That's why he seemed a little bit confrontational. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's keep it rolling. After the meeting, and immediately before Mr. Copeland was brought out to testify, Defendant Williams' lawyer, Brian Steele, advised the court that he was aware of the in-chamber meeting that morning. I don't think that happened exactly right there. I thought it happened after lunch. I thought this all happened after lunch because otherwise he just walked out and he knew about it. I don't know. I don't remember that part. I might have to go back and watch the tape. Mr. Steele objected to the ex parte meeting, and a lengthy colloquy occurred between Mr. Steele and Judge Glanville, in which Judge Glanville inquired how Mr. Steele became aware of the chamber's meetings. Mr. Steele declined to reveal the sources of his information, and Judge Glanville held him in contempt. Though Mr. Steele was allowed to remain in the courtroom on behalf of his client, Defendant Williams, ultimately Kenneth Copeland did testify on June 10th and was later released from custody. The next day, Judge Glanville issued, hold on. Was that the next day with Gatkel? I feel like this isn't in order. I feel like didn't Gatkel come in on the first day when he was held in contempt? He was about to go to jail. And that's when Ashley Merchant came in. That wasn't a day later. That was literally that day. Okay, it just seemed like she missed that part. And maybe it's not important to what she's writing about. Maybe that's it. So I'm sorry. The next day, Judge Glanville issued a show cause order requiring everyone present at the ex parte meeting to appear and show cause as to why they would not be held in contempt for disclosing information about the ex parte meeting to defense counsel, Kendrick Dirk. An amended show cause order was later entered, setting July 1st, 2024 as the in-camera review of the transcripts and the ex parte meeting. Okay. The first motion to recuse filed by Deamonte Kendrick on June 12th. Okay. We know that was a timely submission. Gotcha. Mr. Kendrick's motion seeks to recuse Judge Glanville for his involvement in an allegedly improper and coercive ex parte meeting with the state. On the 14th of June, Judge Glanville denied the motion. Judge Glanville determined that the recusal motion was timely, supported by an affidavit, and on a cursory review contains assertions of facts to support the allegations of bias and partiality. I think that's interesting because ADA Love said that they didn't do it timely and they didn't have facts, but they clearly did do it timely and they did have facts. And Judge Krause actually says that. I think we'll know why she's saying that in a moment. However, Judge Glanville ultimately determined that because there was no way to verify the veracity of the information contained in the affidavit, and there was no actual evidence of the extent of the discussion during the in-chambers meeting, the affidavit was legally insufficient, and the motion to recuse did not require referral to another judge for consideration. I think that's wrong. I think that's really the problem, is that it should have been passed to another judge right off the bat. But I digress. Again, I'm a pre-K law student. I know nothing. On the 14th of June, Caleb Bumpus then filed a motion to quash the show cause order and or recuse Judge Glanville for presiding over any contempt action against Ms. Bumpus, resulting in alleged disclosure of the ex parte meeting. On the 17th of June, Jeffrey Williams filed a motion to recuse Judge Glanville. Williams, and we got that right there, divorced from the hyperbole. Mr. Williams' motion and supplement also seek to recuse Judge Glanville because of his involvement in the ex parte meeting, which Mr. Williams also alleges was improper and coercive. Mr. Williams' motion alleges both actual bias and appearance of bias because Judge Glanville allegedly participated in the accusatory process when he met with Mr. Copeland, and Judge Glanville became embroiled in the controversy when he held Mr. Williams' lawyer, Brian Steele, in contempt. On the 1st of July, the day appointed for the parties in review of the redacted transcript, the ex parte meeting, Judge Glanville announced that he was releasing the entirety of the transcript for the ex parte meeting and was taking judicial notice of the making of the recording, making a recording regarding certain matters associated with the ex parte meeting. Most of what Judge Glanville relayed was the collation of recorded evidence about the recent circumstances of the case. Judge Glanville also explained how he became aware of the state's request for the ex parte meeting. In requesting the circumstances of the contempt against Mr. Steele, Judge Glanville explained the court's purpose and concern in pursuing information about the security and confidentiality of his chambers. Judge Glanville advised that he had not instigated an investigation into surveillance footage, but had reviewed such footage for a timeline of security. Judge Glanville then explained his view that the ex parte meeting was proper under Georgia law and outlined relevant law that supported his inherent authority to hold such a meeting. Judge Glanville maintained that no one gained a technical advantage as a result of the ex parte nature of the meeting. Judge Glanville also questioned defendants' rights to be present in the ex parte meeting because the issue under discussion was between state and the witness and was represented by counsel. After making the record, Judge Glanville announced that the show cause hearing was canceled and that the recusal motion filed by Mr. Kendrick, Mr. Williams, and Ms. Bumpus were being referred to consideration by another judge. In accordance with the Uniform Superior Court Rule 25.1 through 25.7, the motions to recuse were then assigned to this court for consideration. All right, legal framework. Let us go. I need a new staff, Victoria. I do. I have no idea. I need a new staff. I need one. I'm trying to get one. Yes, I'm aware of the VP choice. I just was waiting for confirmation. I think that was my confirmation was my email. My phone rang just a second ago. Motions to recuse are governed by a specific legal framework outlined in Rule 25 of the Uniform Rules of Superior Court. A party seeking recusal must file a timely motion supported by an affidavit clearly stating the facts and reasons for the belief that bias and prejudice exists. The affidavit must be definite and specific and describe circumstances of extrajudicial conduct or statements which demonstrate either bias in favor of the adverse party or prejudice toward the moving party in the particular or systematic pattern of prejudicial conduct toward persons similarly is situated to the moving party, which would influence the judge and impede or prevent impartiality in the action. Wow. Okay. Bare conclusions and opinions are not legally sufficient to support the motion to warrant further proceedings. Once such a motion is filed, it is the duty of the assigned judge to temporarily cease the act upon the merits of the matter and assess the timeliness and legal sufficiency of the affidavit and alleged facts. And this Uniform Superior Court Rule 25.3. If all three criteria are met, i.e. the motion is timely, the support of the affidavit, and the facts alleged right, warrant recusal, another judge shall be assigned to hear the motion to recuse. When considering the motion to recuse, the assigned judge should be guided by Rule 2.11 of the Revised Code of Judicial Conduct, which provides the judges shall disqualify themselves in any proceeding in which their impartiality might reasonably be questioned. We've heard that one multiple times, so I think we all are aware of that one for sure. The standard is objective from the perspective of the reasonable, fair-minded, and impartial person rather than the affected judge or the other interested parties. If a motion to recuse satisfies the three threshold criteria, the assigned judge must refer the motion for reassignment and may not oppose the motion. Oh, I like how she did that. I like it. She's saying basically if all three boxes are checked, I can't do nothing about it. I got to go ahead and move forward. There's nothing I can do. So I think that made sense. That makes really good sense. The judge whose recusal is sought may not respond to the motion or attempt to refute the allegations, which stand denied automatically, or no matter how false or even defamatory the judge might know or perceive the allegations to be. So if you gave it in a timely manner, you have the other boxes checked, they have to move forward with it and let the chips fall where they may. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep this going. A judge cannot become actively involved in presenting evidence or arguments against a motion seeking to recuse seeking his recusal without that defense itself becoming a basis for recusal. Wow. So if he pushed back, that's the reason why you should be kicked off the party. Wow. All right, I'm going to get this moving fast. I said lots of people want to talk about the VP choice. So let's jump in it. Let's go. Let's almost finish. Here, Judge Glanville, analysis and discussion. Here, Judge Glanville precisely announced on the record that the motions were timely and supported by an affidavit. That's the part I think really got him in trouble, and I think really shows that ADA Love was really being dishonest, because she said it wasn't timely and it wasn't supported by affidavit when clearly it was, and even Judge Glanville affirmed that. And now Judge Krause is affirming it again. In transferring the case to another judge for consideration, Judge Glanville necessarily determined that the third criteria was satisfied, i.e., that recusal might be authorized for if the facts alleged in the motion were assumed true. Therefore, Judge Glanville was required to refer the motion for reassignment and was prohibited from opposing the motion. It is worth noting that the court agrees generally with Judge Glanville's assessment that the propriety of the ex parte meeting, while the meeting could have and perhaps should have taken place in open court, nothing about the fact of the meeting or the substance discussed was inherently improper. To me, I don't think she should have said that. She should not have said that. This whole little middle paragraph could just not even, you could save another tree and just not done that. But whatever. However, for the order denying defendant Kendrick's motion and in the process of making his record on July 1st, Judge Glanville added facts, provided context, questioned the veracity of the allegations, and otherwise explained the discussion, the decisions and actions, and ignored why their actions were proper. While it may be appropriate for the judge to discuss information relevant to his potential recusal, such a disclosure must be made in the way that as an objective, dispassionate, and non-argumentative as possible, so that the judge is not reasonably perceived as a hostile witness or an advocate. And we know that point right there. In presenting his record as the recusal issues and the ruling of Kendrick motion, Judge Glanville evaluated and accepted the truth of his own factual allegations, mandating his recusal. This court has no doubt that Judge Glanville can and would continue presiding fairly over the matter if the recusal motions were denied. But the necessary preserving of the public's confidence in the judicial system weighs favor of excusing Judge Glanville from further handling of this case. Based upon the foregoing, this court hereby orders the following. Defendant Deamonte Kendrick's motion to recuse Judge Glanville is granted. Kayla Bumpus' motion to quash and show cause order recuse Judge Glanville is denied as moot because everything else was already taken care of. Number 4, defendant Jeffrey Williams' motion to disqualify and recuse Judge Glanville for all further dealings in the above referenced case as amended and supplemented is granted. Number 4, the clerk of court shall reassign this case using court's assignment procedures. It is so ordered on the 15th day of July. Take that long walk, Judge Glanville. You're gone, sir. Wow. This is crazy. What is going on with 2024? All right, so let me just bring that back up. Sorry about that. So this is the case. I see several people have dropped the link in the chat. So this is it right here. I know that there's a lot going on with the VP choice, and we'll definitely be talking about that tonight. But it looks like it's been confirmed. I see several people are dropping links to confirm that is in fact J.D. Vance, which should be interesting. Okay, shout out to him. But my goodness, what do y'all think about this document? What do y'all think about it? Give me your thoughts real quick as we rounding the bases. I see lots of good people in the chat. Thank you so much to Transplanted Texan for sending this to me. Of course, for me to get started on. Thank you very much for that. But what are your thoughts about Judge Glanville taking that long walk? Taking a long walk. I had a very inappropriate picture for Judge Glanville. Let me see if I find it. I said very inappropriate because I thought y'all would pay attention more if I said it like that. Is this it? No, where'd it go from this morning? I had it this morning. Where'd it go? I know it's on my community page. All right, let's look right here. Okay, I found it. I don't know if y'all hear it, man, but it is getting ready to storm here. How do I send it? Here, I'll just leave it in. It's here on Twitter. All right, so I thought this was funny. I posted this today. So apparently Judge Glanville blocked one of the bloggers. His name is Thugger Daily, that's been keeping up with the Young Thug case. So he blocked him. And so I went over here and said, you're on a comfort break. So instead of it being blocked, you're on a comfort break, because we know that Judge Glanville is prone to those long comfort breaks. Well, it looks like he's going on a long comfort break today, though, for sure. And so this is yet another instance, another black eye to the Fulton County DA's office, man. Like, they are collecting L's like they're supposed to be collecting W's, and they're not collecting W's. They're bringing justice. So this is yet another example. Man, I like how you said that, Twan. He walking that catwalk. He getting that. Cat Williams said 2024 was going to be the year. He was not joking. Man, he might as well just go ahead and take it on out to pasture. It says the entire case, Law RN. Let me bring that back in. Thank you so much for that question. Law RN says, can you clarify the recusal from the contempt? Let me bring it up to the end so we can look at it. Can you clarify the recusal? I'm sorry. Can you clarify if he refused from the contempt issue or recused from the entire case? It says right here, defendant Jeffrey Williams, I'm sorry. Motion to disqualify and recuse Judge Glanville from all further dealings in the above reference case. The above reference case is the YSL case, and unless I'm missing it. So in my understanding, where are you at? Right there. In my understanding, Law RN, that means the YSL case is going to have to get a new judge. And there it is. Now, I don't know where that goes as it relates to the new judge. Are they going to just literally pick back up, or are they going to come in here and be like, and just declare a mistrial? Because this is completely and totally lost. This case is totally gone off the rails. Brian Steele's hourly rate just skyrocketed. I hate to say that dude probably is not even on an hourly rate. He probably is like, just write a check. Just give me a checkbook and I'll write my number. But I hope that makes sense. And please, if I'm misunderstanding or stating it, please feel free to correct me. I'm definitely willing to accept that. We are paying attention. Well, thank you so much, Transplanted Texan. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are a blessing. I'm telling you right now. Fonny's punching the air. Yo, today has been wild. So, I mean, besides even what happened this weekend, right? Because we still have not unpacked, again, the Alec Baldwin case. That got put on the back burner because of what happened in Pennsylvania. Then that almost got put on the back burner because Trump's document trial got dismissed. Now this is getting a black eye. The RNC is today. we're going to be backlogged. We're going to be doing like 24-hour news over here. DWC 24-hour news in a minute. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, Jason. Nobody does. That would be crazy. All right. Is that what she told him? Judge Krause said, hit the road, Jack, and take Glanville with you. There you go. Yeah, they're going to have to, man, this is going to be crazy, out of this world. I can't, who saw this coming? Who saw this coming? I don't know. If you saw this coming, can you please hit the like button? If you don't mind, hit the like button because you saw this coming. If you saw this, just go on and hit that like button. Wow, this is going to be so wild. So I don't know when I don't know when this case is going to pick back up. Do they get a new judge tomorrow and they'll start on Wednesday or whatever? But I will do my very best to keep my ears to the ground and get on it. So I planned a live stream at 7:00 to go over the RNC, but it looks like they done already spoiled it for me. Went ahead and just decided who the VP was without me even being there. How dare you? But yeah, they're already reporting this in the AJC. Yeah, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution is already announcing this. Here, let me just pull this in so we can kind of scan through some of this news together. Hey, that's me. That doesn't look right. Yeah, I'll be struggle streaming, man. I got to get this together. I'm so much better than this. All right, we'll try this again. Share screen. And that's not the right screen. This is the right screen. Okay, so yeah, the AJC, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, very reputable news source here in Atlanta, staple here in Atlanta. They're already announcing that judge has been recused from the case. Elon Musk is announcing the Trump Vance ticket. Joseph Papp is already showing, and he says here, Judge Glanville, Oral Glanville has been recused from handling the YSL Young Thug case. It's a wrap. And Kayla Bumpus is saying, we did it, Joe. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to Kayla. And by the way, I think it's comical. We still don't know who the mole is. After all of this going on, all this wrangling and the such, that's all he wanted was the names. All he wanted was the names. And he still ain't get the names. That's crazy. So you're going to take that long walk into the forbidden land and you still don't know the names. Okay, so Thugger Daily, shout out to Thugger Daily. I wonder if the defense needs to or will appeal this order because Glanville has certainly violated the defendant's rights and that this is not reflected in the order. I agree, because I do think that he did violate, and I do think that there's going to be some more to this. But I'm wondering if it's going to just come out with a new judge. New judge, yeah. Shout out to Thugger Daily. Lots of breaking. J.D. Vance is President Trump's vice president pick. A great choice by Trump. Let's win this thing. All right. All right. So I don't know who are those people. All right. So I thought they were going to wait till tonight, but man, they went ahead and midday spoiler alert. I love it. Man. All right. So lots of good information today. It's been wild. This is a wild news already. It's only Monday. I don't know what we're going to do. I have no idea. So if you're new to the channel or new today, my goal is to do a live stream at 11 o'clock where we kind of recap what happened last night in the RNC and what to expect that night, and then do a live, we'll just do a live stream watch party tonight at 7. So please feel free, get comfortable, get your beverage of choice, all that kind of good jazz, and let's get ready to watch this and see what happens. If you all like it and you all enjoy it, I will do the same thing for the DNC. So let me know what you all think about it. If you enjoy this kind of commentary, if you enjoy me giving my 2 cents, again, my pre-K law student attempt to understand. Hey, black law student, there you go. I got something for you. Yesterday, you were looking for a code from Evan Alexander, and shout out to you because you asked me. I reached out to Evan Alexander and now they are a sponsor of the show. So thank you so much. Let me get that code for you. And I was waiting. I couldn't remember where your email was, but thank you for popping into the chat. Black law student, I got something for you. So Evan Alexander is now going to be a sponsor of the channel. I'll do a little video for them soon enough, but I got to get this link for you before I forget. And so I appreciate you bringing that up because they've been a huge help to my beard game. So I'm glad I could support them in another way as well. Where did my link go? Oh, right here. There we go. And here's my discount, my code, Black Law Student, and anybody who's looking for the improve their beard game. I'll make sure I do a better job. But here is the code for you right there. Thanks so much for bringing that up. Black Law Student. I wouldn't have done that. And lo and behold, I did. And I actually got them to sponsor the channel. All right, let's see. We got lots of good commentary, all the good back and forth. What's going on, Angel Wings? Good to see my good brother, Willie Doc, in the building. It's like I ain't talked to you in a while, Willie Doc. It's like I ain't talked to you in a while. Yeah, she collecting. He says, Fonnie taking L's left and right. Glanville, bye. Yeah, this is such a wild news cycle. Tawanda, you are welcome to have that link as well. Matter of fact, let me give you the link to Evan Alexander altogether. I guess I should have done that. And the code is in there as well. And last night's live stream, somehow or another, we started talking about beards. And I appreciate the commentary. And somebody asked me what beard products I use. And I said, this is the company I use. And so I reached out to them last night and this morning. They said they want to sponsor the show. So they sent me a link. There you go. I agree with you 100% retired. I can't see how this case is going to go on anymore because there's so many, not potholes, but gigantic chasms on the road to victory. Because you still got to worry about the jurors. The jurors know about this, okay? Y'all are probably some of the jurors. I mean, Black Law Student is probably one of the jurors. I think you are. And I'm pretty certain that Gloria, she's probably a juror too. She's juror 7. I know it. I can tell. So the jurors already know. They've been compromised. There's no way you're going to get them in there and be like, oh no, I knew nothing about Little Woody. I've never heard about that. I'm like, there's no way. So that's compromise. But then also just a lot of the things that have been done in this case. And I don't think they even mentioned Brian Steele's request for bond. So I do think there's going to be more pushback. So I don't think that they're going to start back up tomorrow because I don't think the request for his rights was heard. And I don't think his request for a bond to get him out of jail. And actually, I think it wasn't just Young Thug. I think it was everybody to be out on bail. So this is going to go, there's no way. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. It appears that other people are starting to get word of this, which is great. I would love for more people to talk about these topics and, of course, help us all better understand it. And shout out to my Super Sleuth team who sent the link to me. And I just said, I got to get on here and let's go. So I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for listening, for your commentary back and forth, because this helps support the best live chat on the planet. Because the only way they're going to be the best live chat on the planet is if you're there. So I really do appreciate it. I think we got everybody's commentary in there. All the jurors, I already called y'all out. I won't tell anybody that y'all are in my chat. So just, don't worry about it. Y'all are good. You're safe here with me. I got you covered. Don't you worry about it. Erica Phillips. Okay, what I think is going to happen. This is me. This is my little reading the tea leaves. I don't think there's no way they're going to get new jurors. There's just no way. There's no way. Here in Atlanta, unless they move it to like Alaska, then they can get new jurors. But here in Atlanta, everybody knows about this case. Everybody's been watching it. Everybody's been a part of it. Just give it up. So what I think is going to happen, Brian Steele, again, those two other motions for rights being violated and bond, those are going to come up maybe tonight, maybe first thing in the morning. They're coming up. They're coming. He's writing them right now. That's going to bog down the system. So they're going to get a new judge. They're going to get Judge Caterpillar. And Judge Caterpillar is going to have these things to deal with. And he already knows that I'm sorry, the jury is the biggest problem because it's a jury trial. It's not a bench trial. So the jury is the problem and they're compromised. Again, they can lie. So I don't think it's going to get moved out of Fulton. I did think that I thought the disqualification hearing was going to get moved out of Fulton. I mean, the voter interference case was going to get moved out of Fulton to Cobb County, but apparently they're not going to do that. I don't think anybody wants this. And it's going to get a mistrial. If it gets a mistrial with prejudice, y'all saw that with Alec Baldwin, it's a wrap. It's over. If it gets a mistrial without prejudice, then they can go back and try it again. But since the jury has already been seated, I don't know if they can pull this off again. I think it's going to have to be a mistrial with prejudice. I think double jeopardy already applies. So what I think is going to happen is this week there's going to be another document, another motion filed, probably by Brian Steele, probably by the defense. And it's going to kick us into next week. They're going to announce the new judge, Judge Butterfly. And Judge Butterfly is going to deal with this. And Judge Butterfly is going to look at this and be like, look, I ain't got no time for this foolishness. Y'all over here wilding out, having ex parte meetings and so on and so forth, hyper compromising the witness and the information. Get out of here. And they're going to throw it out on Brady. And that's going to be it. So I'm going to give it 2 more weeks just for the theatrical wranglings of this case. But it's got 2 more weeks, 14 days. That's it. All right. Good to see you, Baby Donkey. He says, dismissal, not mistrial. Okay. No, I'm saying what will be okay. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Please don't let me. They got to get bond. Erica, at this point, if you go back and read Brian Steele's argument, at this point, they've got these men in jail and they haven't been convicted. They're going on almost 2 years. Nobody wants to be in jail for 2 years. And all you're doing is every day I got to go to court. Every day I got to go to court, back to jail, court, jail, court, jail. Why? I think at this point, I live here in Atlanta. Just go and get them in bail. Just go ahead and give them bail. Because we've already seen that y'all don't work like normal people work already. So just go ahead and let them work with their attorneys, be a participant in their own defense, but they don't, why they got to be in jail? And that's taking resources out of the jail. That's removing resources from the jail. I don't see them as being a flight risk. I mean, everybody knows who they are at this point. Again, I could be wrong. And please understand, if somebody of legal mind says otherwise, I will gladly come on here and say, nope, keep Young Thug in jail. Keep him on no bond whatsoever. But I've not met anybody or heard anybody say that they just need to stay in jail indefinitely. Because, think about it. They would be in jail for 4 years if this case had kept on rolling, because the case is going to be 4 years. If the case had just kept on rolling, they'd be in jail for 4 years before they got convicted. That's crazy. So they can't make any money. They can't do anything with their families. I think that's wrong. In my opinion. But like I said, I'm with you, Erica, right there. Erica says, free Young Thug. Wait, did I do it right? Free Young Thug. Because in a moment, he's going to be old Thug. He's going to be old Thug in a minute. Just let that man go home and be with his family. You can do the same thing, ankle monitors, daily check-ins, all this stuff. They're going to still be a part of you're going to see them every day because they still got to be at court. But just let them go. Do you think we will hear about the other convictions that the people of Atlanta have suffered from? I will say that there is a young lady who was involved in the Atlanta cheating scandal. Her story broke my heart because she was a first grade teacher. First graders don't take standardized tests. I'm sorry, their standardized tests don't count. Let me say it like that. It's more like a practice for first graders. It was just like to get them used to the process of filling in the bubbles and such like that. But it didn't count for anything. And I reached out to her. I would love to have her tell her story because she's, I forgot her name. I got to pull it up. But she's here in Atlanta, of course. And her story is pretty sad to hear how they did those teachers during that cheating scandal here in Atlanta is pretty wild. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Law student says, to be honest, the reason they denied bond was valid after I watched the bond hearing. But now with rights violated, it might change. Okay, there we go. And hear me, I'm not saying that there wasn't a good reason. I'm just saying now let them go, is my opinion. Yes, in Atlanta, Eric, if you look up the Atlanta cheating scandal, I don't know if it's the first. It was definitely the largest at that point RICO case in Georgia. It's like 168 people. It was crazy. But it was nothing of this length, though. Nothing of this length. But it was a large, again, it was teachers that were changing test scores on standardized tests. And it was a real blight on the education system and Atlanta Public for sure. And Atlanta Public doesn't need anything else. All right. Just think about this. If Donald Trump would have never come to Atlanta, none of this judge and the district attorney's office would have been looked upon in this fashion. That's kind of fair, but it was an election. It was the whole election brouhaha. So I don't know. I don't think there was a way. It wasn't like Donald Trump just chose to roll up in Georgia. I mean, it was part of the election foolishness of 2020. Man, if he has money like Young Thug, then he's a flight risk under the law. Wow. So I guess I ain't gonna never be a flight risk. But my goal is to never need that. Worry about that. But I got you. Bond, and Erica says, bond in Georgia is biased, in my opinion, unless it shows true threat to community, and they already were biased coming in the door. Okay. No, I got you. And I don't disagree. I admit Black law student is making a comment here. I did not read the pleadings for the bond hearing. So maybe I'll do that next, or maybe I'll do that sometime soon. But I feel like at this point, with this case having so many hiccups, and these people, if this were a normal trial, it would have been already finished. But it has so many twists and turns, problems and hiccups. Give them in bond now, because again, we're cruising on almost 2 years. It'll be almost 2 years. That to me seems to be a little excessive. If it had been 7 months, I'd have been like, whatever, just bear with it. This case is chugging along. You're getting it done, and so on and so forth. It's going to be done, finish. But now we're going on, again, 2 years, which is way multiple. And it's still got many, many more months to go. Just let them get bond. Y'all love y'all some YSL Barbie. But good people, let's do this. I do have a show tonight at 7 o'clock. So literally in 3 hours. I'm going to make sure the dynamic duo are getting their chores done. But wow, they already got a new judge? Judge Ingram is the new judge. They already got a judge. Wow. And that judge probably like reading this like, get out of here. Y'all about to hit these roads. Y'all about to hit these sticks. Wow. Man, they already got her. They already got her. Shukura Ingram. Okay, I see you, Judge Ingram. Okay. Okay. Wow. Y'all, this has just been crazy. Woo. Okay, so we got a new judge in the YSL case. We got pitting JD Vance versus Kamala Harris. If nothing else, both of these people look like they're young. They do not look very old. So they knowing that they're one heartbeat away from becoming president is a different game. So, all right, let's see. That is going to be crazy. Y'all need to stop with these videos of Trump and 50 Cent. Y'all need to stop it. Whoever is doing this, y'all need some help. Get help. Y'all are wild. I agree with you, man. Who did this? I can't believe I'm agreeing with Sean King. Oh, Sean the King. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is wild. I hate those things. This dude is riding a bike through a building. Oh my gosh. They just run around stealing stuff. Is that, y'all, the social media has ruined our society. All right. Wow, they already got her in here. All right. Wow. Okay. So Vivek is giving him a shout out. All right. Vance is the pick. Okay. They agree. All right. All right. Let's see. I think it's good. All right. Good people. Let's do this again very, very quickly. Let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I love Phil. I want Phil to come on the channel. Y'all need to go over there and tell Phil at Inside the Law that he must unequivocally come on Dear Woke Christian or come to Podium Studio sooner than later. If not, we're going to have, I don't know, I'm going to have to go fight him or something. This is a good question right here. Question, will a black female judge have an impact on the trial? I'm hoping that the trial won't go on anymore. But I just hate it because people are already they're going to already find out that she's in the same sorority as Hilton, or her and ADA Love used to eat at the same restaurant, whatever like that. I mean, they're going to find some kind of correlation. I just want justice to be served for these men. That's all I want. So if they're guilty, then let them be found guilty. If they're innocent, let them out of jail. That's it. So hopefully none of that stuff is going to play a role in it, but we'll see. I think Brando, but I'm hoping it doesn't even come back. But he says ADA Love is not going to be doing all that yelling with this one. I agree. Eric Perry says, what does the streets feel about gang crime on their streets? I think they don't want it. They don't need it. They don't desire it, for sure. That being the case, however, you can't be underhanded in trying to convict because people don't want gangs on the streets. Because I agree with you. We don't want gangs on the street. I'll be honest with you. A lot of people, Eric, and again, I have done no scientific study. I'll just tell you what I'm understanding. It. A lot of people feel like he's being railroaded. And when you put it in context of they've watched other people get railroaded in judicial systems in high profile cases recently, they think a lot of people do feel like Young Thug is being railroaded. Now, whether or not he really is being railroaded, I think we can have that discussion. But I think lots of people are feeling like he's being railroaded. So that is definitely a sentiment. But again, non-scientific, just a few people I know and talk to. Let's get out of here, good people. Thank y'all so much. I'm looking forward to doing a little quick research on this. Maybe I will try to jump in sooner than 7 o'clock so we can get warmed up. But hopefully you all can see the live stream, the 7 o'clock live stream. Hopefully you'll hit the notification bell so you'll be sent that alert when I'm going live. Because if I press the button a little bit early to get warmed up, I want to make sure that you all are aware of it. And if we can jump in and talk about it, I'll make sure we talk about it. So everybody, I want to thank y'all so much. I appreciate you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens at the RNC tonight. This is going to be wild. So until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Take care.